Do you have any political dreams and aspirations?
Uh,
Hello, 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 guys. Happy New Year. It's me again. I'm in a very happy mood. I'm sitting down with my very good friend. If you've been on this channel for 3 years, you have seen a very familiar face. This is not his first nor second time on this channel. He is back again. No other person but my only good friend, lawyer Andrews Adugu. He's going to tell us about his journey, educational journey, and career-wise profession. If you're looking to going into law school, this is the right person to speak to. And I am the lead consultant for USRN Pathway Consult, where we help general nurses, midwives, and psychiatry nurses who want to work in USA. I know you want to write NCLEX and you don't know where to start from. I went through the same phase and I'm here to guide you. So find us at www.usrnpathwayconsult.com. Sign up, send us an email, and we'll start your onboarding process. So Andrews, I don't want to waste much of your time. How are you doing? Happy New Year. Welcome back to the channel.
I am fine. Happy New Year to you and your viewers all over the world. And thank you for having me back on your channel.
Nice. I'm here. I'm happy to have you back. So what have you been up to? I know you and I went to the GSS Kabori School Complex. And then after that, we parted ways. I went to a girls' school, obviously, and you went to a mixed school. Do you want to walk us through your educational background? Where did the journey start from? Did you school in Volta region from scratch? Just tell me a little bit about your educational background.
I'm the last of 5 boys. I think I'll start from my daycare. So I started from Sunyani in the Bunghafo region. That's where I was born. So I started from a daycare called Mama Lawson. So those who are in Sunyani would relate. It's just opposite the Chinia Manfo Senior High School. Then from Mama Lawson, I briefly passed through Sacred Heart. That is in low cost Sunyani. Then moving to class 1, I went to Good News Baptist. Continued at Baptist for about almost 5 years. Heading to class 6, we were transferred from Sunyani to Ho. Then I went to Kabori's school complex. I came in class 6, left the Kabori in GSS. From Kabori, I went to Achimota School in Accra, West Africa. Then from there, I went to read Bachelor of Laws at KNUST in Kumasi. Then from KNUST, I moved to the Ghana School of Law to read the professional law course or the qualifying certificates in law. Then after Ghana School of Law, Makola, I came to do my national service at the Office of the Attorney General, Ministry of Justice, particularly in the Ho office or the Volta Regional Office. After my national service, I went to private practice. I think I was doing close to 3 years when, for want of better expression, I was pushed back to work for the state.
Wow. That's a long, tall profile. So I remember back in the day in middle school, Cabaret School Complex, the best school in Volta region, you were part of the debate club. You were always, everybody could just tell that this kid was going to be a lawyer. We could just tell you always were in the debate club. You always made your points very clear. So at what points did you realize that law was something you wanted to pursue?
Okay, so back in GSS, I was torn between becoming a business mogul or somebody interested so much in business. I was also interested in journalism, but at the same time, I was also interested in entertainment. In fact, a lot of people do not know, I used to rap and dance, and I was interested in cultural dance and others like that. But one thing I've always known right from when I identified myself or identified who I was, and I can say I started identifying myself in GSS 1, was the fact that I am somebody who always want to air my opinion, and I make sure that I am heard on an issue when I have a view to express. And that obviously would culminate into, speaking in the media and stuff like that. So journalism was one of the things. But just to quickly answer your question, my love for law started in the senior high school, that's an Achimota school. And it's just one of my mates who said, the way you answer questions and the way you debate issues in class, I think you'd be a lawyer. And it stuck in my mind. So once she said that, it stuck in my mind. I decided to work towards it. And the interesting things, I wanted to read business administration, and I was torn between business administration and law. But once we're done, I applied for business administration at the University of Ghana. I didn't get admission, but I'd also applied for law in KNUST, and KNUST offered me admission to read law. Law it has been since then.
Wow. So let me take you back a little bit to your extracurricular affairs. I remember you were also in the drama troupe, and I also know that you were doing something for Center for National Culture, Volta region. You were acting and plays and all. So what positions have you occupied in all your high school, secondary school? Were you a school prefect, class captain, dorm monitor, leader, drama group leader?
I loved acting from my childhood. So my first play I did was in class 1. That was my first play in class 1. My second play I did was in class 4, thereabout. So I have pictures, at least the one for class 4, class 5. I have pictures of it. There's one particular one that I was holding a staff. Then when I moved to Kabori, class 6 to GSS, we had this our 25th anniversary. I joined the cultural troupe. But even before I came to Kabori, I am a Catholic and I'm part of the CYO group that we used to do cultural dance. So from my childhood, I've been involved in cultural dance. I know how to dance gaon, kete, achiagbeko, and all these dances. So I've always loved the arts and I have loved acting. So issues of leadership, when I came to class 6 in Kabori, just a new student fresh, I was appointed a sectional leader for yellow section. Then when I moved to the GSS, I became the assistant school prefect. Then when I went to Achimota School, I became prep prefect East. Indeed, when they were selecting, when they were doing vetting and doing selections for school prefect, I was in the list for the school prefect. But one way or the other, I think God knows best. And I was given the position of prep prefect East. From Achimota, when I went to KNUST, I became the organizing secretary of the Law Students Union. I was in the organizing committee, and organization is one of my great skills because I'm able to do a lot of organization. Then from the KNUST Law Faculty, when I went to the Ghana School of Law, I became the president of the Catholic Students Guild, CAS Guild, and other positions I occupy, leadership positions I occupy currently. I'm the secretary of the Volta Regional Branch of the Ghana Bar Association. I have been a youth president of my church, Holy Spirit Parish, and I'm currently also the vice president of the Justice and Peace Commission for the whole diocese. I think these are the various leadership positions that I have held.
I know, and if I give you 10 hours, you will not even finish about all your roles. So we are really proud of you. So because of the purpose of this discussion, the young people watching you, and my question is, if somebody wants to pursue law now, how is the process and where do they start from? I know KNUST does a direct admission right from high school. You can get into that. But what are the other options and where should somebody start from? Basically, I want to go to law school. What should they be doing?
The first point I'll look at is somebody who is from senior high school who wants to read law, or somebody who already has a degree and wants to read law. In every case, you just need to make sure that you study hard. For those who are in senior high school, what I tell you is that make the best of the grades and apply to any of the universities, KNUST, University of Ghana, UCC, Wisconsin, Zenith University, UPSA, University of Professional Studies, and any other school that is accredited by the National Accreditation Board to offer the law program. So you get an LLB. But for my biases, I'll tell you that come to KNUST because that's where I went to. Then from there, you obtain your LLB, you write your Ghana School of Law exams, and when you pass the exams, you get into the Ghana School of Law. You do a 2-year program. If you pass your exams, then you'll be called to the bar, and from there you would also have opportunity to to the 6 months pupillage, after which you'll be given a license to practice. In all of this, I'll tell you that you must be a person of high moral integrity. So if you are messing up, you're committing all manner of crimes, and you have a criminal record, you know that because of the nature of the profession you want to get into, it'll be difficult for you to get into because you're not satisfied that requirement. If you are somebody who has a degree already, be it in any field that it is, what you have to do is to apply to any of the universities that I have mentioned: KNUST, UCC, University of Ghana, Wisconsin, UPSA, King's College, or where all those universities, to get an LLB, that's a Bachelor of Laws degree. Once you have an LLB degree, you can apply to the Ghana School of Law and you write the exams. And if you pass, you'll be admitted to the Ghana School of Law. Do a 2-year program, then you're good to go. For those in the Commonwealth country and those from US, UK, and Canada, you also have opportunity. If you are already being called as a lawyer in those countries, you have opportunity of becoming a lawyer in Ghana by applying to do what we call the post-call program. That's US, UK, Canada, and the Commonwealth countries. You can apply to the Ghana School of Law. You do a 6 months program called the post-call program. And if you pass the exam, you go to the Ghana bar, then after which you do a 6 months pupillage, and you would get your license to practice as a lawyer where you work in any firm in Ghana.
So you've given us 3 different options. Wow, very, very, very clear. So after you are called to the bar, do you have an option of going into private practice, or does the government send you somewhere, or you have to, well, what's life after school when you finally get a certificate to practice?
So when you are called to the bar, you'll be given a certificate that you have qualified. But the license to practice as a lawyer would only be given to you after you have completed 6 months pupillage under a senior, and that is under the regulations under law, must be in a law firm. So when you are called and you have your license, you can decide wherever you want to practice. Majority practice in, majority do private practice. If you would also want to apply to any of the government agencies where they have legal departments, you are at liberty to apply. But my advice to anybody who is who wants to be a lawyer is, right after getting your qualifying certificate, I will advise that you do some number of years of private practice before you move into any of these institutions, because it builds you up. And from where my background is, I think that's one of the best things to do. Give yourself private practice, get yourself toughed up before you go to corporate practice or before you go to any other place.
Yes. Let me use this opportunity to say shout out to all the about 13 to 15 nurses who became lawyers a few weeks ago. Obviously, they had their first degree in nursing and other aspects, and then they went to law school, and now they've been called to the bar. So anybody can go, so far as you are determined and you have the grades and the ability to study, and you don't necessarily have to be maybe an art student before you get there. Nurses have done it, and now we have nurses that have been called to the bar. So what type of lawyer are you? And if somebody wants to specialize, let's say immigration attorney, do you have to go to like a different school and get that specialization?
Well, I because I work with the Office of the Attorney General, and currently I deal with cases of representing the state in criminal cases and civil cases. Basically, I do a lot of criminal prosecution. I do representing the state in civil matters. So those are the areas that I do handle. Now, when you talk about specialization, it depends on the interest of the person. Some people would want to do some specialization in criminal law. So you may decide to do a lot more practice in criminal law, or decide to take a master's in criminal law or criminology. You may also decide to do human rights. You may decide to do marine law, energy law, any place or any area that's of interest to you, may decide to go there. In fact, if you're interested in tax law, you can also apply to do a further course in tax, or you could join the there's an association of taxation officers in Ghana. You undertake that course. If you want to do security and industries law, also opportunities available to you to go into that area. Law is about practice. So the key thing that you would have to go into that area, do some practice before anything. If you want to be in the academia also, the opportunity is there. You can do a master's in any field. From there, you do a PhD, and you decide to teach in academia. So it offers you a very big opportunity. But I want to use a point to say that I was in class with people who are around 60 years, 45, 50 years, and stuff like that. I have medical doctors who are in my class. So I have mates who are police officers, medical doctors. So no matter whatever age that you find yourself, you can still come and read law. Never give up hopes on reading law.
Nice. So to a layman like me, all we know is, oh, he's a lawyer, he's a lawyer. What are the ranks or the titles? Who has an Esquire by his name, ESQ, and who, like, can you differentiate the titles as soon as you're done with law school? What titles are you conferred upon? Yeah.
So basically, every lawyer in Ghana is called a lawyer, is called a barrister, as Esquire. You have the name Esquire at the end.
Okay.
Now, depending on where you want to go, or depending on what you choose to do, if you're a lawyer and you decide to become a judge, or you decide to you want to join the judiciary, you will start, depending on the level you enter. The lowest level or the beginning level is a magistrate. From a magistrate, magistrate of a district court, you go to a circuit court judge. From a circuit court judge, you go to a high court judge. From a high court judge, if you are promoted, you go to a court of appeal judge. And if you're also appointed and vetted and seen that you are qualified, you then get onto the Supreme Court bench, which is the highest level. But there are no titles. As the number of years come by, the number of years that you have practiced also gives you experience. So 10 years and above, you are considered a senior. And when you are considered a senior, there's a lot of responsibility on you. There are certain things that, or certain basic things, certain basic mistakes that you shouldn't make. But be it as it may, you may be 2 years, maybe 3 years, but your ability to deal with the case may be more than somebody who has even done 15 years if you apply yourself to the job. That's the most important thing.
Wow. So you've lived in whole Volta region for over 20 years and you work in the same place you grew up. What are some of the challenges you face? You are dealing with familiar faces. A friend's uncle has come. And how do you handle that conflict, if you get what I mean?
Well, one of the things I can say is that I chose to work in Ho and in the Volta region because I wanted to help my people. I also wanted an opportunity to serve as a mentor to a number of people, and for me, it's an opportunity for me to help develop the areas I find myself in terms of the law and others. Now, the challenges are numerous. One, when it comes to people's ability to pay as compared to maybe in the capital city or maybe in a Ashanti region, where you have a lot more businesses and a lot more opportunity, obviously those places would, if you do your work very well, you're likely to rake in a lot more income as compared to this part of the region. Does not mean we do not have people who do not have such resources, but the caliber of disputes and the companies which are available, majority of them, if not all, are in the capital of Ghana, that is Accra, or in the middle part of Ghana, that is the Ashanti region, probably maybe in the northern region. So that's one issue. The other issue is what you mentioned, familiarity. Yes, we know you are just with us, and can you do this for free? People want free services and stuff like that. Aside that, also, maybe sometimes you may talk about some of the facilities that you may get over here. Maybe the facilities may not be like the ones you get in Accra and stuff like that. But through it all, well, some people have to be in certain places to get things done. We have chosen to be here, at least for now, to help get things better.
Nice. So let's go back to journalism. You've been on radio, different programs. How did you find out? We already know that you have the skills to be, you are a very vocal person, good speaker, good orator, and all that. So do you still combine that with work, going to the studio and educating the public?
I have a lot of interest in radio. I love the education bit. I love speaking to people and I love listening to people. So I still have interest in that. Unfortunately, I'm not able to combine it now. But previously, I used to do a radio program somewhere within 2012, 2013 called The Legal Eye. And and that program was doing quite well. Currently, I host a program called Matters of Law on XTVGH. XTVGH, anybody who goes onto YouTube can check Matters of Law on XTVGH, where I discuss the law and the thing that people generally should know. I believe that one way or the other, I do not necessarily need to be in a radio station or a TV station to fulfill my passion in journalism. And even this program that we are having, or this conversation we are having, is a form of journalism. And I do my best at the right time to, if there's an opportunity to educate, I do educate. I've been on a number of platforms, be it national, local, educating and talking about issues. My most important thing is always law in development, and that's been key for me.
In case you didn't know, viewers, this was the very first person who was on the channel when I started a session called Hot Seat. He was my first guest. I want to tell you once more that I'm introducing a new session. He is not aware, but I'm about to make that go into effect right now. Any guest that passes through, before I let you go, I'll put you on the spot and ask you 3 big questions. So you are the first guest we are coming to try this with. Are you ready?
Yeah. I think I should get myself ready.
I think you will.
Yeah, I'm ready now. I'm ready.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
before we get to the 3 big questions I'm about to ask you, the first one is, you are a family man, you're married with kids. How is that with your career? How are you combining everything?
Well, I must say that is challenging. Having to make sure that you take care of the home and make sure that you are also present at your work on time and do everything. But the key thing, I believe, is that family is great, and I must spend a lot of time to make sure that family is also very comfortable. So I do everything to make sure that family is comfortable, and I do everything to make sure that work is comfortable, that work does not suffer. My work is one of the things I do not joke with. In the same way, my family, I do not joke with my family. At the end of the day, when I get to work, I need to be able to make some money to be able to take care of my family. If I'm not well, I can't get to the work, and if I don't do the work, I can't get the money to take care of my family. So they are very, very important to me. So I try as much as possible to juggle between them and make sure that none suffers.
Wow, well answered. So are you ready for the big 3 questions?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so we'll start from the biggest one and we bring it down, we tone it down to the 3rd one. So the first one, if you become the president of Ghana today, what will you change?
I would change how our educational system is. I think that we should allow people who have skill sets to be able to use their skills a lot more. We are doing a lot more of chew and pour. So I would change the educational system. Then probably I would change how salaries are structured to make sure that people who work in areas who need a lot of salary, especially the skill sets, who need a lot of salaries, are rather giving that. I think the inequality in payment structure is making things very bad. Then if I have the opportunity to change any other thing, maybe our political system, our party system, it's a two-way affair and everything is politicized. It's one of the things that I think I would love to change as a president. Put the right people at the right places, sack those who are not doing the right things, and make sure that when people do not do the right things, they are kicked out of government.
Wow. I asked 1 and you gave me 3. I like that. I'm glad I'm starting this with you. Second question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If you were the Volta regional minister, what will you change?
Well, that's a big one.
It's bigger than the presidency.
Yeah, that's a big one. I think that I would change our approach to tourism because Volta region has a lot of tourist sites. I don't think that we have done a lot to harness our tourism sites, the rules to the tourist sites and others. So for me, that's where I'll be looking at changing so that we can bring in a lot of revenue.
Wow, nice. Okay, I was going to make it 3, but now I think I have a 4th one. So let's do the 3rd one first. If you were not a lawyer, what would you have been? Any other career?
Oh, I would have been a businessman. Buy and selling. In fact, I still do some business. I sell some eggs, stuff like that. So I'm sure I would have been a businessman. Trust me.
Wow. What sort of business?
I would have been doing some farming. I would have been doing everything, merchandise, which is legal. Yeah, anything that goes, I would have been involved in it.
Okay. So I'll add a bonus question number 4. Do you have any political dreams and aspirations?
Well, I think that my gestures already should tell you. I mean, nobody knows. I love politics. I love development. I don't know what the future holds, but one of the things I know is that I'm ready to serve in any capacity that I'm given, whether it's political or any other thing. Let's see what the future holds. I know a lot of people want to know my political aspirations or any other thing like that, but I'll keep it open. It's a new chapter. Let's see what happens.
I like that. I like that. Did I catch you off guard? Are you okay?
Oh, well, I think a lot of people who are expecting me to be on the political scene. I get that a lot. People are asking that we want to see you come into the political scene. I've had people ask me so many questions. People investigate my political leanings, if anything. Because of the nature of person that I am, I believe in development. I get involved to get the things done, give suggestions, and I'm ready to push anything which is development related, no matter the political party that is in power. And my advocacy in development of the region it's something that goes way back, right from my childhood. I've always been involved in stuff like that. And for people who are ready to to talk for the people, to talk about development, sometimes people want to see you be in government to see how things are done. But I also think that you don't necessarily need to be in government to effect change. You can effect change in whatever small way that you find yourself. And that's why a lot of people should be looking at change the environment you find yourself by doing something positive and being positive.
Wow. Thank you very much. Viewers, watch out for this phase. The year is very young and we'll definitely bring you back. It's been fun chatting you. Any last words? Anything you want to tell us? The year is young, any encouragement, anything at all?
Well, I think the first thing I want to say is about you yourself, Priscilla, doing this. I remember that when you mentioned you wanted to you wanted to start a YouTube channel. I paused and I said, "You want to start a YouTube channel? Somebody who doesn't want even to take a still picture, and you want to start something by talking to people. You have been tremendous. You have been phenomenal. This is something you wanted to do, and I mean, yes, we go way back from school. I know how you started. The good thing about it is that when you started this channel, you were ready to talk to people. You were ready to learn." And I think that your skill set on this has become very tremendous. I mean, if you look at your set and everything, it has become very, very wonderful within a space, and the number of people you're getting on your channel and what you're doing to help people. For me, that is change, and that's positive. Other people, I think when you want to really do something, go for it. I think we listen to too many people and what will people say and how people see me. I used to be like this. And some of us, our past are haunting us. Please forget about the past and look at the future, because nobody will live this life for you. If you know whatever you're going to do is positive, just set out there and do whatever you want to do. For those who are married, I always say that before you get into marriage, please think twice before you get into it. A lot of people are jumping into marriage, they know what they are getting into, and they are walking out of it, and they're creating a whole lot of mess. So for those who are in marriage, exercise a lot of patience, no violence, nothing. Talk over issues and get things done. For those who are in government, we have given you the power to make our lives better. So remember that whatever aspirations that you do or whatever you need to do, people have put their lives down to make you get into whatever position that you have. Remember that one day you will not be in government. You will come to the same position that we're all in. And Ghana deserves better from everyone who decides to serve them. Let us serve the people. And for Christians, I say, let's worship God. Let's do what is good. Let's keep united. And let's keep pushing Ghana forward. And for those of you in the diaspora, please contribute your quota to help Ghana develop, because Ghana needs you to get to where we want to get to. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. So now you know why I say he's going to be back again. You just gave me a very important topic. We're going to be talking about marriage and the divorce rates these days, and anything in the legal area. You will be back for sure. So just get ready for him when he comes back. It's been nice chatting you. Thank you very much for the kind words. Thank you very much for being my confidant. You've always been there for me all these years. And in my YouTube career, you always open your doors anytime I knock for you to come back. I'm really, 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 really proud of you. Congratulations on your recent promotion. And we hope for greater days ahead. And greetings to everybody and the family. Take care and bye-bye.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.